Cheese cake when Rupert was young.
Because that's a national game, most kids play.
What I meant.
She's got that on there.
That's a lot of them come out with this in the club. And it's so funny.
No, they still say that.
Oh yes, and we've got a couple, an Anglo-Indian girl who's married to an English boy, and he wants to be an Anglo-Indian. He likes all the Anglo-Indians, all our ways and all that. And he comes out with these things, these little expressions that Anglo-Indian use.
Shut up, man.
Shut up, man. And another thing is, like, if you make a mistake, you say, oof, man.
Yes, we used to say that.
And of course, he calls out bingo, bingo. He calls it out on the loudspeaker, and we get all this, and of course, we laugh ahead with this young English boy saying, Englishman saying all these Anglo-Indian accents. And another thing he says that makes us laugh, what did he say? Chup rao. Just means shut up. Chup rao.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, that's when he thinks to start calling out bingo and everyone is chatting away, say, chup rao.
And that's Hindi, you know.
That is Hindi.
Yeah. Sound like you always. It always sounds like back in the day you had more fun than like we did. Like I can't even tell a story like that. I barely remember stuff from when I was 10. I can barely remember stuff when I was 16.
You will when you get married and have children.
Yeah. But you remember your story so vividly, like little details that I could never.
Because you lived in a tight family unit. You know what I mean? So that was their life.
But, I mean, there must be so many things that I'm missing out.
I know.
But these things seem to stand out in your mind or stay there in your mind always. Now, I remember still going back to Rajahmundry, and I'm sure we left when I was near to 7. So, but I was born there, so I was 7 years in this place.
So was I.
Yeah,
I was born in Rajahmundry.
Yeah, no, but you left when you were younger, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were younger.
I don't know.
And I have to explain this was so nice, and this is really vivid in my memory, where we used to live in this lovely little, it probably is a village if you think about it, where there was this big railway station where my dad worked, and he would get on the train and go, and when he goes away he's gone online, and he would take this big line box, a wooden box, with all his things that he had to have, his tie and belt and lights and all that, lights, and clothes, of course, change of clothes.
So he'd be gone for days, would he?
Sometimes 2 or 3 days.
Yes, he'd go quite fast.
Did all the boys work on the railroad?
Most of them. Father to son,
Yes. And there would be...
even now.
The engine driver was the top one, would get good wages. The engine, my dad was started with the guard. He was just called the guard. He would be at the end of the train. The driver would be at this end, and they quite often passed our house, and he would be standing on the back veranda, waving and shouting. And Dad would be standing with this lamp, red and green and amber, just like the lights. He'd be turning the lights. To start and stop. And we'd all be shouting too. And that's when he was passing through. That means passing through, not stopping.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they blow the horn, isn't it?
No, I don't think the driver.
Fast trains usually do that.
Anyway, that's one of the memories. But there's other memory that I started to tell you about. And then you come from this railway station, come down the steps, and then there's the big railway institute, which I remember so clear, where all the big dances took place, all the school concerts took place there in that railway institute, and then Father Christmas would be there with the Christmas tree giving out presents. Then there would be the big 31st night dance, where only all the adults went, all the children had to stay at home. Anyway, so then you'd walk down this road. This is that big road between all the houses, just like that. One lot there, one lot this side. And there was a big road in between. And there's all these people, we all knew each other. Because you had to walk past them every day. You go right to the end of the road, and there were the 2 churches. This is really funny when you think about, or odd. One was the Church of England church, and on the other side was the Catholic church.
No.
Right next to each other.
I don't remember.
You wouldn't remember it. And I was always fascinated with this Catholic church. I would go around and run and peep inside and see all these statues.
Curiosity.
Because they'd have the statues
Yes.
of Jesus and Mary and Joseph.
And no statues in the Church
No,
of England.
statues in church. We'd just get a cross in
Yes.
Church of England.
Okay.
And I remember Lorna, was my sister-in-law, saying, "Come away from there, wait," as if I was going into the devil's house.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that so well.
Ah.
Lorna was slightly older than
Oh, yes,
Lorna
yes.
was old,
Okay.
older than me, because then it was
Malcolm
Lorna,
came after Lorna.
Malcolm, and then me.
And all the older ones used to look after the younger ones.
Oh
Mhm.
yes,
Mhm.
hold hands and take us for a walk. Yeah, that's sort of, I remember that part very vividly. As you said, some things I remember so well. I do remember this part of this,
The church.
the railway station,
Yeah.
the Railway Institute, this long road, all the houses, and the two churches at the end.
And what was the name of that place? Where was that?
Rajamundry. Yeah.
So it's just a small town.
Yeah.
Small village.
A
Small
really.
village.
They didn't have a lot of electricity.
All these
you know.
villages were surrounded by Anglo-Indians in those
Oh,
days,
yes.
by railway people, isn't
Yes, yes, they were all Anglo-Indian.
Occupied.
Mm.
Occupied by
it? They lived in that whole
All
area more.
grew
or
up
less.
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
They got they're known as quarters.
Yes.
Yeah.
They give them
Railway quarters.
railway quarters. That's it.
Yeah.
And a father used to bring home like rice, fruit, whatever was going. Like you know.
Mhm.
And once a month, we would go. Mom would go in this big. It was called the judge cart.
Oh my gosh, I remember the
Taylor
jug
Galley.
cart.
Yeah. No.
That was our mode of transport
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the market.
It was like a cart. It would have covering made out of
Straw.
bamboo or
Or
like
bamboo.
matting.
Yes.
And we would go in this cart and go into the town, into like the big bazaar, to get all
Yeah,
the
but what
right-
drove the cart?
The
Oh,
cow.
a man
No,
drove
the cow.
The cow was in the
The,
front.
the horse or the cow.
So it's
Yeah.
horse drawn.
Yeah, horse drawn.
Oh, wow.
And there was to be a man naturally.
Yeah,
driving.
no, but I didn't. I thought it was no engine. It's a horse.
Yeah,
No,
horse
no.
drawn.
Wow.
Just two big wheels, like the old
Like the
car.
Taylor Galley.
And we used
Yeah.
to sit cross-legged inside.
But-
There's no
yeah,
seats,
wait,
flat on the.
Wait a minute now. All the little ones, we weren't privileged. We had to sit in the cart, cross legs, and only the older ones could sit at the end with their legs hanging down.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I remember that so well. And when we go wherever we went to this shop, special shop, and Mum would buy lots of rice and dal and all sorts of things.
Oh,
all
The
the
monthly
yeah,
supply.
yeah. And when it's all finished, the man would give each of us a little paper packet with some sweets like cashew nuts and sugar candy. Also, and we just get a little packet free. Oh, I was so happy with that.
Yes. I bet.
Lovely. I remember that. That's another vivid thing in my mind.
Mhm.
Oh, what else can I remember from?
God, you could do a
How
program,
did you feel when you were
on
leaving?
television.
I know.
Yes,
It's
everything.
How did you feel when you
fascinating.
were leaving Rajamundry?
Go on YouTube,
I
eh?
felt very happy
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we were going to a big town.
Or a city like?
We were too little to understand what we were leaving
Yes, good.
How
behind.
did your mom and dad take it?
Mom had to accept it because that was Dad's job. He was being transferred. He was getting transferred like a promotion.
I was going to say, was it a promotion?
A
wasn't it? It was a
promotion.
promotion, was it?
Yeah.
So he now was working from Calcutta to Madras on the railway, or
No, not to Calcutta.
No kid.
No, he was
no?
From
When did you go to
Rajamundry?
Calcutta?
after he retired.
Tired.
Okay.
But this transfer took place
How
from
did you all take that?
Rajamundry to
You
Madras.
accepted it?
When we went to Madras, then Dad travelled around, still on the railway, still a guard, and he would go then mostly like southern, like Bangalore, and what was the other place, Chittor or Missouri, all those places in the
Yeah.
south of India. He would go there. I don't know how many years he did that, and lots of memories, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think back to a lot of memories that died out with Babsy and Rhoda and Lorna.
Oh, they would
Yeah.
have known even more.
They would know.
Because they were very close to your granddad. They were older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Especially
used to
Babsy.
hang out together, Babsy and
Babsy,
Rupert
yeah,
and Rhoda.
they were very close.
Mhm.
Never even thought about it.
Well, what was he like with you guys? Was he really close to the younger ones?
Oh yes.
Yeah, we looked up to
Yes,
him. Really.
naturally he was the older brother, and we were all the little one.
Was he the eldest?
Rupert, yes.
He was the eldest.
Yes,
Protect
yes,
him,
he was the
and
firstborn.
Yeah.
pick on
And
them.
then it was Auntie Babsy,
So,
and then was Auntie Rhoda.
Okay.
so he was very protective of you.
Oh,
yes,
yes.
yes.
What
Yeah.
about the landlord?
What, the landlord?
Oh, blossomed.
How I remember that, and you remember it.
Oh, I want to hear this.
In Madras.
That was in Madras. And it was, and of course in the afternoon, it's so hot there in Madras. In the afternoon, everyone slept or you just stayed indoors. And there was a house opposite me, and there was a little boy flying, and they fly kites.
Yeah.
They're known for flying kites. And his kite got torn or something, and I was thinking, right opposite my house, but in that house, the other house. And I was bending down, helping him to stick this kite with a bit of rice. You stick the kite with rice, you could stick the paper, And suddenly this landlord from the house came running down and said, get out, they're stealing all my flowers. And I stood up and I thought, I said, I haven't touched any of your flowers. I didn't have any flowers, I could see that. And then he just walked away. And of course I went home and told Mummy, and I didn't realize Rupert was listening to what happened. Well, the next thing he knows, Rupert went across the road, called him out, and had a fight with him, fist fight.
Really?
Punched
He's
him
a
out.
rowdy one.
Oh my God, yeah, but it got very serious because this landlord took him to court, took us to court.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got in trouble for
Got
that?
into trouble for that.
Mm.
And we lost the case. Well, I have to say, yes, we lost the case. They had to pay not charges,
Court
what?
costs.
Costs.
Court costs.
That's a
But I
shame.
didn't realize that Rupert was listening to me telling Mummy what happened.
Like he's protecting you. It didn't want.
Before you know
So
it,
did you get into any fights?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it got to me sound like you.
I wasn't there. I was saying, did you get into it? Those days.
No. In those days, oh my gosh, it was
Rupert would have come and beaten me up.
It
wouldn't
was
he?
Neville with his blooming kites. Fly my kite. I have to fly his kite for him.
Hold the letter,
No,
Yeah.
you have to
No.
hold the kite and
No,
he'd run with it.
you didn't get the latte.
Oh, you have to hold it till he...
Yeah. This
hold
is
it
in
up.
the jar. And you're running up and down the street with this kite. It was a quiet, even though there was traffic and all, but it was so
Quiet.
quiet.
It
It
was
wasn't
quiet.
very busy.
No.
And I'd have to stand then, and he'd run, and then I have to let the kite go, and he'd
Sometimes
run.
breaks.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll break, and then sometimes the string will break and the kite will fly off.
Go like that.
Mommy, she's lost my kite. I get her back.
Uncle Neville used to say that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You used to get
She had
you
so many
look
children, Mummy, she didn't know which one to hit.
You and Beryl used to look after us.
I had
Wouldn't
to
you,
look
Beryl?
after.
Neville and me.
The bigger ones
You
looked
were
after
left-
the smaller ones, like
Yeah.
5
To
years
look after
younger.
us. I know, I remember that.
Did my grandpa teach Uncle Neville how to box?
No,
Since
he
you-
learned
no?
in India.
No.
Oh, okay.
There was
No.
big difference in their age. So by the
It
time he
started
grew
off
up,
with
he
what
was
he
very
used to do,
small
what he
then.
used to do, we all used to do anyway. But what he used to do is punch the bag,
Mm-hmm.
and he used to punch a heavy sandbag.
Mm-hmm.
We used to, all of us. And he used to keep it up in the air, and to keep a sandbag in the air is hard.
Yeah.